Okay, so this is 2D basics. We're going to go through all of the basic two-dimensional shapes and formulas that you need to know. This is kind of a general review of almost all of Chapter 9 so that you can be really secure in finding volume and finding surface area, which is all coming up next. So we've got perimeter, which is the distance around, which just means add up all the sides. You've got circumference, which is the distance around a circle. Now that's either 2 pi r or it's pi d, because 2r and d are the same thing. Then you've got the area of a rectangle. That's base times height. And then the area of a parallelogram, also base times height, but remember, it's not the side of the parallelogram, it's the part that's perpendicular to the base. Then we have the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2, whichever one you're more comfortable with. We also have the area of a trapezoid. Now, the formula for this is B1 plus B2 divided by 2 times h. Now, what this means is you have to find the average of the two bases. So you've got a base 1 on top and a base 2 on bottom. Doesn't matter which one's which, but you're going to add the two together and divide by 2 to find the average. And then you're going to multiply that by the height, and the height is always perpendicular to the base, like this. Now, a word of warning, if your trapezoid ends up on its side, you need to be aware that the two parallel sides are the two bases. This is base 1 and base 2. These don't count as base 1 and base 2. Make sure that you understand that. Okay? Most of the time you won't see that, but just in case. Then we have the area of a circle. That is pi r squared. That means pi times r times r. You can't do this from a diameter. You have to find your radius from your diameter, divide it by 2. And then the last thing you learned in Chapter 9 was the Pythagorean theorem. That's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the legs of your right triangle and c is your hypotenuse. And you can solve for a or b, or you can solve for c depending on what you have. So make sure you understand these definitions, because as we get more and more into this, you're going to need to understand how to work with these. So I'm going to expect you to know this, because we got to run with this. We got to take this and apply it to more complex three-dimensional shapes. So make sure you get it, okay? And please ask me any questions tomorrow. Thank you much.